Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we have a very fun topic. This has been a topic that has been in the making since last July, and we are super excited to bring this to you. We are going to be talking about the brand new proven winners of the Proven Winners Color Choice Shrub Introductions for 2025. Yes, my friends, brand new shrub introductions from Proven Winners that are available for pre-order right now at gardeningwithcreekside.com. Now, I'm going to tell you, I say that this was in the making since July. So every July, Jerry and I have the honor of attending the leaderboard event at Spring Meadow Nursery in Michigan, because this is a exclusive, kind of the behind the scenes look at the Proven Winners Color Choice Shrubs. So when we go there, they let us see what the new introductions are going to be for the following year. However, we can't really talk about it at that time. So I have been pining away for these beautiful shrubs since last summer, and the time is near that we're going to get our hands on them. So we're going to go through there. There are something for everybody. Let me tell you what. Very, very exciting. And I will say this. With new introductions, it's always a little bit limited on the quantities that are available, right? So especially for shrubs, because, I mean, just think about it. It takes longer to grow and produce a shrub than it would, say, an annual, even a perennial. So some of these are going to be very limited in quantities. We have them all available on the website now, but even some of these new introductions, maybe there's a different color within the series. We couldn't even get those right now because Spring Meadow doesn't have quite the numbers to support. So there could be absolutely some more of these new introductions that are made available later on in the season. And as the years go on, they become more readily available. So grab your gardening journal, get comfy, get a nice beverage of choice. Let's have some fun going through these new Proven Winner shrub introductions for 2025. I am going to give you lots of pictures so you can see the pictures. We'll throw the name up there for you, so if you want to jot it down, you can, and then I'm going to give you just orally the specs on these plants. So first up, and these are in absolutely no particular order, but I am telling you, you are going to want these shrubs. Oh my goodness. I have already personally reserved some of my shrubs that are going to be coming in. And so because I cannot wait for these. So first we have a brand new abelia. Abelias are great for the South. This is Sweet Emotion Blaze. And this has very fragrant spring blooms on it. Who does not love a fragrant flowering shrub in the spring? We've come out of winter, it's cold, it's dank, and we go into spring and we want all the senses to be taken care of. So Sweet Emotion, hence its name, is going to give you those beautiful fragrant spring flowers. This is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 8. It's going to be a good little size. It's going to be 5 to 6 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide. This will do great in your full sun to part shade. And in those spring with those flowers, they're going to be nice white flowers. White flowers on a nice green shrub. And then in the fall, oh my goodness, y'all, this has fantastic red fall foliage. It is going to be incredible. So you're going to have beautiful, fragrant, white flowering spring blooms. Then you're going to have nice green structure throughout the summer. And then come fall, you're going to get that great red fall color on it. Love the Sweet Emotion Blaze Abelia. So we've got that. Then we're moving into, this is one that is going to like take your mind and everything that you know about this type of plant, and it's going to go, it's going to blow your mind. So a buddleia, a butterfly bush, right? To know a butterfly bush is to love a butterfly bush. But butterfly bushes we always think of in the heat of the summer, and then that's when they bloom. Well, let me introduce you to mop top. Mop top is going to be a spring flowering buddleia. So it is going to give you beautiful light violet, lilac colored blooms in the spring. As you can see from the pictures, it looks nothing like that buddleia that you are used to. This is a weeping habit, a cascading habit. It is known as a fountain butterfly bush. It is going to completely change everything that you think about a butterfly bush and turn it upside down on its head. So it is going to bloom in the spring, which, as you know, then that means that it's going to be blooming on old wood. So buddleias typically we think are blooming on new growth, and so this one's going to be different, and it is going to bloom on old growth. So what does that mean for you? It means don't prune it in the springtime. If you need to shape it up, which you really should kind of leave it alone, then you would do that after it flowers. This is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 8, 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. So it's going to give you a nice moderate size in the garden. As with other buddleias, it does like the full sun. So you need to have a minimum of 6 hours of sun. And then, like I said, you just cannot beat the habit, the structure, the spring flowering potential of this buddleia. I am so stinking excited. I can't even talk about it because it is just the coolest thing ever. So you're going to love this. So mop top is going to be really fun. Going in a completely different direction from mop top, let me introduce you to Kodiak Jet Black Diervilla. Now, what is so cool about jet black is its color, right? We absolutely love that rich black color. And this is going to be the only diervilla that stays that beautiful black color throughout the entire growing season. It is not going to fade to a green. It is going to retain that beautiful, rich color. It is absolutely spectacular. This is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 8, so extremely cold tolerant. And it is going to be really fun because it will produce flowers that are bright yellow. Can you imagine those bright yellow flowers on this black foliage? Beautiful. And it is extremely easy to grow because it is a native shrub to North America. It is fabulous in mass plantings. So remember, a mass planting could be 3 shrubs or more. Just depends on your space that you have. It's going to be 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and it's going to do best in full sun to part shade. You're going to need some of that sun to give it that nice rich color. And you're going to retain, like I said, that's the number one thing about this jet black is that it retains that beautiful black color throughout the entire growing season. I'm thinking, can you imagine pairing the jet black with that mop top? The color contrast between those two shrubs, the structure on it, the difference would be absolutely fabulous. It would be glorious. So you have Kodiak Jet Black. We also have Kodiak Spiced. Now this too is going to be a native to North America, but you're going to stay and kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum. You're going to have that beautiful orange color all season long. Still zones 3 to 8, still going to be about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. So you're going to have those shades of deep orange, and it's going to have those beautiful bright yellow flowers in the summer. It is very tough. It is very adaptable. It can go just basically in any kind of soil type. So if you're like me and you've got that red clay soil, these diervillas are going to do great. If you've got sandy soil, not a problem. If you've got that beautiful, rich, nice, organically rich, composted, loamy soil, then you're going to do great. So check out these Kodiaks because they are going to be really fun for that nice, big, bold color presence in your garden. Remember, we don't always have to have tons of flowers to have really a lot of interest in our gardens. These are going to be plants that give you that great backdrop. So if you want to put those flowering plants in front of it, then that would be fantastic. So these are going to be kind of the bones of your garden, right, with all of that color. Now, if you're like, but Jenny, I just have to have color, and I have to have color with loads and loads of flowers. Well, honey, hold on to your bootstraps because we're about to introduce you to some hydrangeas that are beyond unbelievable. Proven winners, their color choice shrubs are most definitely known for their hydrangeas, and they do not disappoint this year with these new introductions. I love Incrediball. Incrediball hydrangea, the improved Annabelle, is amazing. Have it in my garden, multiple areas. Love this plant. Well, what do the folks at Spring Meadow do? Well, they take something that is already great and they turn it into something that is absolutely amazing. Let me introduce you to Incrediball Stormproof. This is a tight, compact, massive bloomer, absolutely stunning version of that Incrediball hydrangea. It has really strong stems with huge flowers. Of course, this is going to be native to North America. It has darker foliage than Incrediball does. Massive pollinator attractor, hardy in zones 3 to 8, and it'll be about basically 3.5 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 wide. So still a little bit taller than it is wide. It will do great in full sun to part shade. And it has those, like I said, those massive, huge blooms on those strong, sturdy stems. I think the reason that they named it stormproof is because when they had this hydrangea in the test gardens, it was in full bloom. They had one of those classic, summer thunderstorms that we're all familiar with all the wind and the rain and, all that torrential stuff that happens within a very short window of time. They went back out to the garden and this hydrangea was still just as tall and as perky and as happy as could be. Hence its name, stormproof. So I know that I'm excited about stormproof. I have already started making plans on where I'm going to add it to the garden. So Incrediball stormproof, if you like it, grab it now while we still have it available. Now another one, this is going to be a paniculata, right? A panicle hydrangea. Let me introduce you to Powerball. Now, Powerball is going to have more rounded flowers than maybe some of those traditional panicles that you think about. A little bit more similar to a macrophylla hydrangea, where this is the classic. So not so cone-shaped, a little bit more rounded. It has nice dark foliage, and then the flowers start out lime green, and then they turn to a cream, and then they go to a pink hue. This is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 8. So even though we have this transition of colors with the flowers, remember, if you were in those warmer zones, especially with the heat and the humidity like I am, you're probably not going to get as much of that rich pink color in the fall as my people in zones 3, 4, 5, right, 6. You're going to get the benefit of all of those beautiful fall colors. We may get some pink hues, time will tell. If I get my hands on it and start growing it, then I will let you know how pink it turns in the fall. But this is going to be a nice size. So 3 to 6 feet tall and wide. Because it is a panicle, you can prune it however it is that you need. Also, if you're in a zone 3, you're probably going to stay around that 3-foot size. If you're in a zone 7 and 8, then we're going to hit those higher heights on the hydrangea because we have a longer growing season and a milder winter. So this is going to be have bigger flowers. If you're familiar with Little Lime Punch, one of my all-time favorite hydrangeas, is going to have bigger flowers than that, nice and tight and compact, and like I said, they are going to be a little bit more rounded. So exactly what we are looking for as far as hydrangeas go: strong, sturdy stems, lots of flower power, adaptability, versatility, and it will absolutely bloom on that new growth. So you get all of those beautiful flowers guaranteed every single year. We've got 2 more hydrangeas for you, my friends, because one can never have too many hydrangeas in the garden. At least that is my motto. I'm a huge fan of the Gatsby series, these oak leaf hydrangeas. So let me introduce you to Gatsby Global. This is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9. Your oak leaves are going to be native species to North America. This is going to be in that nice moderate size, right? Because some of the traditional old oak leaves can be massive, like really big. Gatsby Global is going to be basically like 4.5 feet tall and wide. Not too little, but not too big. It's just the right size. This is an introduction from Dr. Tom Rainey of NC State University. He always does some great introductions. This has really tightly stacked flowers on really strong stems. Very tight habit, nice and petite for an oak leaf hydrangea. And then as those flowers age, they will take on kind of an iridescent lime color. So you're going to have, again, a little bit of that transition in the color of your flowers. Of course, they start out that lovely creamy white. And then, like all oak leaves, you're going to get fabulous fall color. We do adore our oak leaf hydrangeas because of that really rich burgundy fall foliage that they have, and they tend to hold on to it longer than some of those other fall foliage plants. If you're familiar with oak leaf hydrangeas, this is going to be smaller than ruby slippers, faster than Munchkin. Those are some classic, more petite oak leaf hydrangeas, and it is denser and yet more dwarf than Snow Queen. So those of you that are familiar with your oak leaf hydrangeas, there's a little bit of tidbit information for you. So Gatsby Glow Ball. Very excited about this one as well. Now, here we go. We've all been looking for this ever since it came out. Fairytrail. So Fairytrail Bride was the first cascading hydrangea, and so they've come out with some other colors on it. I'm super excited about this. This is a Fairytrail Fresco, and Fairytrail Fresco obviously is going to give you those nice rich colors. It's going to be more pH dependent, so you could have the blues, the pinks, with still having that cascading habit. This is going to be hardy in zones 6 to 9, possibly a zone 5. You would have to have it really well protected in the winter time. It is going to be about 3.5 to 4 feet tall, 4.5 feet wide. So it's going to be wider than it is tall. Definitely going to be in that shadier area. These cannot do that full hot sun. Tons of gorgeous flowers that bloom along the entire length of the stem, and you're going to get beautiful fall color on this. Now, one of the things that I have learned about my fairy trails is not that the summer is the problem with the heat. For me, it is they need more protection in the winter time. So that coming of that transition time that we're getting ready to enter into, where you're leaving winter and you're going into spring and the temperatures are like this, like right now. They need a little bit of protection. So especially here in the south, and I would think that this would apply in other areas as well. If you can give it an area underneath some trees, kind of in a woodland area, maybe tucked behind a house. So on the south side, right? So when the north winds come in, that it is protected behind that structure. It will flower much more reliably for you. In fact, I'm getting ready to move some of mine out of the full exposed area up against the woods. The Fresco, I am so stinking excited about because of the color. And so what I'm going to do is tuck mine up more here at the Signature Garden. This would be a perfect spot to go up into the new woodland garden behind the pond because it's nice and protected underneath the trees. And then for me, up at the chicken coop at the house, because again, it is underneath that understory of those big trees and it has that protection. The color on this hydrangea though, oh my goodness, love it. Now, completely, totally different direction. We're gonna go. Cherries. Who loves a good cherry pie? Who loves some cherry preserves? Yep, so here we go. Easy as pie. Yes, this is going to be a bush cherry. And it is a tart cherry. So this is not going to be one that you want to pick the cherries off the bush and eat. You can. They're going to be very, very tart. And of course, they do have the little pits. This is for pies and for baking, jams, jellies, those types of things. It has covered in loads and loads of blooms in the spring. And then of course, those flowers will turn into the fruit. This is self-pollinating, so you do not need to have a counterpart. You don't need to have a pollinator, and so it is self-pollinating, so you don't have to worry about that. And then it has a beautiful, nice fall color to it. This is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 8. And it's going to be basically like 4.5 tall and wide, full sun, because it is bearing fruit, so it needs that sun for the energy. Beautiful white flowers in the spring, tons of red fruit. In fact, when Jerry and I were at Spring Meadow in July, they had one and it was loaded, but you could tell where people didn't believe it. And so they were picking them and eating them. And then there was all these little cherries around because they were so tart. So nice, small, tart cherries, perfect for baking and for pies. Going back to some beautiful flowers, but a little bit different. Let me introduce you to Spice Cowboy. This is going to be a Korean spice viburnum that is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 7. It's going to be a good little size. It's going to be 6 to 10 feet tall, 4 to 5 feet wide. There's a lot of things that are fabulous about this, but with that size, you can easily train this into a tree. So it will be very easy. In fact, in the display gardens at Spring Meadow, we saw them that they had trained them into a tree form. So that 6 to 10 foot size is perfect for a tree form on that shrub. Now, why do we like that Korean spice viburnum of Spice Cowboy? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One, it produces those classic blooms, right? Those nice, big, Reminds you of a macrophylla hydrangea, the pure white, and they're fragrant. That's right, my friends, beautiful fragrant flowers and that pure white. It is a fast grower, so that is always a good news. And then as you transition into fall, you're going to get beautiful fall foliage on it. It's going to be a nice orangey red color that definitely expands the interest for this plant all the way from spring, early summer with those beautiful white fragrant flowers in through the summer and into fall with those great fall foliage colors. So this is going to be in full sun to part shade. And this is just going to be a really cool, nice, tight blooms on it. You're going to love it. I mean, and it's a fast grower. So we always love fast growers in our garden for sure. Coming back to some great foliage interest in the garden that's also going to be a little bit more deer resistant. Let me introduce you to Sunjoy Really Red Barberry. So barberries sometimes get a bad rap because yes, they have thorns. That's all right. Every rose has its thorn, right? It's okay. This is not a plant you're going to go out there and hug, right? But it definitely is going to bring lots of beautiful interest to your garden. This is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9, so extremely adaptable over a wide range of those growing zones, and it's petite. It's basically a 3x3 shrub, right? So we love that. It is going to have glossy foliage that emerges with a candy sweet tones of red licorice, and then that will stay throughout the season, and then it will even develop like a chartreuse edge around those leaves. So it's going to give you that lovely, lovely color. This is another introduction from Dr. Tom Rainey and his team at NC State University. Nice compact habit. This is where you want to have that foliage of that nice, rich, deep red. You can pair it with those hydrangeas. You can pair it with those chartreuse plants that you have in your garden, right? Looking for that color contrast that is deer resistant. So we definitely enjoy that. So Sunjoy Really Red. As a Southerner, I do love my camellias, and I am so excited that Proven Winners is diving into the world of camellias with their Just Chill series. The Just Chill series is going to be more cool tolerant than other traditional camellias, hence its name, really up to a zone 6, 6B, depends on where you are. So you would want, if you're in those cooler zones, you're going to want to give it that winter protection. I love this new introduction. This is the Just Chill Double Pink. We're getting to those classic, we're moving in the direction of those classic camellia flowers with that double pink bloom on it. It is beautiful. This is going to be hardy and definitely zones 7 to 9, possibly a 6B. If you're in that 6B, you're going to, like I said, need to give it as much winter protection as you possibly can from those cold winds. So put it in the hottest, most protected spot in your garden, or put it in a container and you can move it in and out of the garage if you want to. This is going to be 5 to 8 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide. Obviously, if you're in a cooler zone, it's going to be more tight and more compact. If you're in those warmer zones, then the bigger it will be. Camellias, of course, are beautiful evergreens, nice dark glossy green leaves on them. The Just Chill series, as that new foliage emerges, it is a lovely shade of red. So you've got a lovely color contrast on it. And then to have this camellia absolutely covered in these double pink flowers is just fabulous. So I've already put my request in for a couple of these. These are going to be fall bloomers. So these are going to be similar to your sasanquas and bloom in the fall as opposed to blooming at this time of year, that January through March time. So the Just Chill Double Pink Camellia. Still, with the Southerners, you know, you Northerners have had the Color Choice shrubs for so many years. And now that we have Dr. Judson LeCompte at Spring Meadow, he is bringing in those Southern shrubs that we are so excited about. Distyliums. I love a distylium. It is a great bones to your garden, beautiful evergreen foliage on it. And so this is going to be the first distylium in the Proven Winners line. And as a little wink and a nudge to the south, this is called Buckhead Bold. Buckhead as in like Buckhead, Georgia, right? So this was developed at the University of Georgia, so there you go. Buckhead Bold is going to be first in a series, so they're going to have like a Buckhead series of distyliums. You're going to have bluish foliage on this distylium. It is very drought tolerant. It is going to be hardy in zones 7B to 9. It is going to be a good size. like a nice substantial size, 4 to 7 feet tall and wide. So if you're in the zone 7B, you're going to stay in that 4 foot. If you're in zone 8B and 9, you're going to go up into the bigger size. Distyliums, of course, are great because they are that great evergreen, have a very free-form habit on them, and then about this time of year, they're going to put on little red flowers. They are a fantastic option if you need an evergreen and like maybe say you don't like loropetalums or you don't like boxwoods. Try a distylium. Critters leave it alone. The Japanese beetles don't like it. You don't really need to prune it because it has that free form habit to it. It is a fantastic shrub. And with Buckhead Bold, it is going to have, it says, late spring, early summer brings unusual red flowers, which we've talked about. So this is going to be a nice on the stem. You're going to have those beautiful flowers on your distylium. Next, we're going into, again, if you need those great green, nice standard bones in your garden, we are going to introduce you to Mr. Smooth Seedless. And so this is a silver thorn. Now, I have zero experience with silver thorns, so I am just going to put that out there. So I am going off of what Spring Meadow has told us. This is going to be a sterile variety, so that is always very popular so that we don't have to worry about having, 10,000 little babies pop up in our garden. It is going to have the new growth is going to be in that silver toned. It is very, very tough. It is hardy in zones 6 to 9. It will be 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. It does need the full sun, and it will have white flowers on it, and it is an evergreen. So another one from Dr. Tom Rainey and his staff at NC State. It also has no thorns, so that's why it's called Mr. Smooth, right? Mr. Smooth Seedless, no thorns, no seeds. And it is going to have, if you have any kind of problems with, boxwood blight, or you're looking for an alternative to your boxwoods or something that is nice evergreen, then you might want to try Mr. Smooth Seedless Silverthorn. It is can handle the drought, the heat, salt, very deer resistant. Absolutely beautiful. So there you go. And since it's sterile, you can absolutely enjoy it and not worry about it spreading all its little babies everywhere. Coming back to some flowers, I love a Rose of Sharon, and the Paraplu series has a new introduction, pure white. So if you are looking to add some gorgeous white flowers to your garden, then this is going to be for you. This Rose of Sharon does an absolutely, like literal, pure white flower on it. Hardy in zones 5 to 9. It's going to be more manageable size. It's not going to be so large like some of the other Rose of Sharons. This is going to be 5 to 8 feet tall, 5 to 6 wide. It does need the full sun. Beautiful, pure white flowers, very long growing season. Long bloom season on it, and it is just going to be a beautiful addition for those of you that are looking to add pure white. Maybe you have a moon garden, right? This would be one that you can add to your garden. Another option for those of you that are dealing with maybe the boxwood blight or the boxwood moth is a Japanese holly. This is Hedge Box. Hedge Box is going to still give you that structure that is similar and reminiscent of a boxwood without any of those problems. This is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9. It is going to be taller though. It's going to be 4 to 7 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide. Very narrow. This is great for tight spaces. Maybe it's the corner of your house, right? 4 to 7 feet tall. So it's not going to be crazy tall that it overtakes the corner of your house. Nice and narrow and tight. This would also be great for really large containers if you're looking for some kind of evergreen structure in there. It is full sun to part shade, and it is that great space saver. And yeah, so it is that Japanese holly, very easy, very drought tolerant, very disease resistant, critter resistant. There you go. When we were at Spring Meadow and they were introducing these new shrubs to us, I was so excited to hear that they are opening and beginning a new line of native azaleas. Yes, so we have Sweet Reward. This whole series, they're coming out with 2 colors. They have coral and they have pink. Remember at the beginning I told you that there might be some production issues to get enough of these plants out on the market. Right now, coral is on hold. They're waiting to build up their inventory, but pink is available. So, of course, these are deciduous azaleas, so they're going to lose all their leaves in the wintertime. Before their new leaves come on, they're going to be covered in these beautiful flowers. Brand new series from Proven Winners, hardy in zones 5 to 8. The Sweet Reward Pink is 3 to 6 feet tall and wide. Full sun to part shade. These do really well in like woodland gardens. Mimi has tons of native azaleas in her garden. I know that she will be excited to add these new Sweet Rewards to her garden. It is going to be fragrant flowers. We love that. Anytime a flower has a fragrance, we are very excited about that. This too is from NC State, but this is from Dr. Jim Ballington and from the North American native species. So again, if you're looking to add those native species to your garden, then the Sweet Reward Pink is going to be one for you. The colors on this and the blooms on this are unbelievable. I just cannot wait to get my hands on this. Absolutely beautiful. We have 2 new roses out. So I hope you like big, bold colors because that's what I'm going to give you. We have the Oso Easy Red Stripe. So the Oso Easy line is a beautiful, has great disease resistance, that landscape rose, right? So it's going to be a little bit wider than it is tall, nice and manageable. But you have that red stripe. So you have that classic red rose, but it's got stripes of white in it. And you're gonna get a lot of variation on the plant with those red stripes. So it's going to have this almost like a candy cane effect look to it. It is extremely tough, very tough rose, high disease resistance. The one thing that you might want to put a little asterisk by is because it is this beautiful landscape rose, it's not fragrant, okay? So this would be something maybe that, if you don't want it like really close up to your house, but you like the color, right? Move it away a little bit, put it in mass planting, and it will be beautiful because it's going to be that repeat bloomer. It's just going to continue to bloom and bloom and bloom. 3 feet tall and wide, of course, the full sun, and then it is going to be absolutely beautiful. Now, if you want roses to have a beautiful fragrance, these are the ones we put up in containers on our back porch, all around our patio, very close to wherever it is that you spend time in your garden. Let me introduce you to Reminiscent Yellow. And this is a beautiful yellow rose, really rich yellow. This has great disease resistance, the best yellow rose with that disease resistance, because a lot of times your yellow roses are more prone to some diseases. However, the Reminiscent Yellow is going to have that great disease resistance, and it has that fabulous fragrance that we love in roses. Hardy in zone 4 to 9. A little bit bigger, 4.5 feet tall and wide. Of course, roses do love the full sun, those fragrant yellow flowers, and it's just beautiful. I just can't tell you. I do love a good yellow rose, and so I'm excited to see this yellow, the Reminiscent Yellow, and to see how it does. So those are a good handful of shrubs that will be entering into the market this year from our friends at the Proven Winners Color Choice Shrubs. Very excited about these. Again, if you are interested in these, I would encourage you to not dilly-dally, don't lollygag. Go ahead and place that pre-order so that way you get them. As the time goes on, more plants will become available, but just like anything that is brand new to the market and in high demand, sometimes those quantities can be limited. So as always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational, that you have found something in this video that is a good fit for your garden. As always, we appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.